Welcome one, welcome all to DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Crypto and Chill. I am Mike.
Oh, did you freeze? I think you froze. Oh no. Oh, I think Mike froze. Mike, blink twice if you can hear me. I think
There we go.
oh, there you go. Are you back? Your face is
Yeah,
oh, there you are.
but I apologize. I had to disconnect and reconnect my internet real quick. So not sure where I cut out, but I'm Veteran Crypto and this is Jeff, BRC142. So how's it going tonight, brother?
Doing good, man. The first 3 hours of the day I spent going through my my taxes and stuff and getting all my transactions from last year sorted through. I still have 8 more months of transactions to work through. So it's painful. My eyes were a little crossed this afternoon, so I needed to take a break. Went out for a little
Dude,
hour walk. So
it's it's insane how freaking complicated that shit is. You know, you'd think, I mean, obviously they know how much you owe, because if you don't report it right, they will come for it. So obviously they know how much you owe. Why can't they just freaking say, this is how much you owe, or this is how much we're giving you back, and just freaking do it?
yeah. Well, with the crypto side, it's a little more invasive because you have I use CoinLedger and you import your transactions, like you paste your wallet address on your account, and there's a lot of manual steps to go through because they don't necessarily acknowledge the bridging that you do between networks, and so you kind of have to manually bridge stuff or say these two are bridges, and then the liquidity pools and stuff that I was in last year, going in and out of those. Or
Oh,
if you stake the LP token,
yeah.
it doesn't know what's staked or what's not. So it's all kinds of shit that I'm like, fuck, man, this is yeah, it's
We we
quite
we might
painful.
we might need to do like a little, mini episode on just like on crypto taxes, just kind of some tips and tricks, on how to make it easier on yourself. Because I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it can, taxes by itself is a pain, and then you get into crypto where there isn't any clear rules, but they definitely
Mhm.
want their money. So yeah, that might be something to take a look at.
Yeah, no, I'll be happy to kind of show, my little profile and stuff and
I
kind
I
of
don't
walk
want to
through some
see I don't want to
examples.
see your little profile, Jeff. I don't want to
No,
see
hey,
it.
there's a lot of transactions in that profile.
There's a lot of transactions in that profile. You definitely don't wanna see that. So, yeah, why don't you introduce the socials real quick, and then I'm just gonna kinda get back to our roots. So I'm just gonna, touch on RWA.XYZ, maybe a little DeFi Llama, and then we'll just start kinda going through some news clips, about crypto that, that we came across, that each of us came across. I know that you found some cool aerodrome stuff. I found a little bit of Canton, a little bit of, Avalanche, and a couple other things. So why don't you, introduce the socials real quick?
There we go. Welcome, everybody, to this wonderful Tuesday edition of our Crypto and Chill here at DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, where me and Mike go live for this segment every Tuesday and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're on Twitter, jump over to YouTube and also the Arena, where we're streaming here as well. Great new social platform that combines sort of like a Twitch, Twitter style platforms. They have spaces, they have live streaming, they even have applications. They have an app store. They just integrated the VDEX perpetual exchange, so you can trade perpetuals on here. So they have activity feeds where you can open longs and shorts. But yeah, this is our YouTube channel. Help give us more exposure across different platforms. You can catch our brother channels, Blockchain Basement, DeFi University, Jake Call, and me at the Blockchain Report. And Mike also has other shows throughout the week. Money Talks on Mondays, 10 a.m., where they talk traditional finance, wealth preservation. They have Taylor and Texas Jeff, who's an estate lawyer, and Jeff is a financial advisor. DeFi Masterclass on Wednesdays with David and Jake. And our Red Pill episodes where we kind of go off the hinges, talk about politics and social events, social current events, and stuff that's not so much crypto related. And we've also got some great interviews dropping. The Canton COO and co-founder Shal Kafir interview was great. Shout out to Drew for coming on and assisting you with that. That was a great interview.
That was really cool of Drew to do. But
Dude,
yeah, we're for the most part, we're gonna keep the spicier topics to Thursday. We'll just but just disclaimer that it's gonna be off the hinges, because it's we're gonna have different people and it's gonna be no holds barred. So
yeah, respectful disagreements whenever we do disagree. So it's great to be able to have a open space like that and not feel attacked or threatened. And
it's healthy. It's healthy to have debate and kind of talk things out, and so you can kind of understand opposing views. Yes, Ellie. Yes, Ellie. We do like spice.
Yeah, sugar and spice and everything nice.
Jay, this Thursday we're probably going to be talking about that ice shooting, because there's a lot of misinformation out there, and me and Texas Jeff last night and this morning we're actually going back and forth about it. But we'll leave that for Thursday.
Yeah. Jake Call has Metrics Finance, a DeFi portfolio tracker and simulator. It is free to start, and there is a paid version, but start for free. And if you find value, bump up to the monthly or yearly subscriptions. And David's DeFi University is completely free. The only thing that's paid for is his daily live mentorships Monday through Friday. Those are 2 hours a day. But go through the DeFi course. I actually did a video and put it on my YouTube channel to kind of promote this, this free DeFi course. And
no, it's a great course. He's going to do an
airdrop at the end, right?
Well, he just finished up DeFi High, because that's the daily show that me and him do at 9 a.m. Pacific. And we just basically just going through the very basics. It's almost like hitting the reset button on our DeFi Academy. Where we've talked about wallets, we've talked about best practices and being safe with wallets. Kind of like the episode that me and you did. Just a bunch of stuff like that. What the smart contracts are, what liquidity pools are, just the very, very basic. So if you're ever looking about learning about DeFi and you don't want to pay out the nose for it, because most people charge you tons of money to teach you, the entire DeFi University is free. Link is in the description of every episode we do and on our channel. So you have no excuse to at least learn DeFi. I'm not saying invest money, but at least learn about it, because it's being integrated. We'll get into it in a minute, but it's being integrated into the traditional finance system. DeFi, in the future, you're going to be using DeFi and you're not even going to know you're using DeFi. So you definitely want to learn it now.
Yeah, those 9 a.m. Pacific is when him and David go live daily, Monday through Friday. And they're going from beginner to advanced, so breaking down all kinds of different topics in DeFi, basically all the courses that David has here. DeFi concepts, investor mindset, liquidity, money markets, and perpetuals. So highly, highly recommend. Super valuable. And like Mike said, people will charge thousands and thousands of dollars for this information that we're giving out for free. So also Mike's DeFi Wise newsletter, just under $20 a month. The newsletter goes out early in the morning, Monday through Friday, with set ranges, market sentiment, all kinds of alpha. So check that out here. Get Mike at Veteran4Crypto on Twitter, me at the BCR142. And we, like I said, we're streaming on Pumped Up Fun. Went through that so much. The arena. And I'm also on the arena as well. And I started doing a DJ live stream on Saturday nights. I had over 100 viewers, man. The second time doing it, so that was a lot of fun. So yeah, gonna be doing that on Saturdays. So check that out. And yeah, if you're on Twitter, like I said, come over and you can sign up using your Twitter account on the arena and join the
It
fun
makes it
here.
really easy. That integration makes it really easy to interact. Like you can actually
Yeah.
post on Arena, and the post that you do, it will automatically post to your X account if you want.
Oh hell yeah!
So instead of having to post on Arena and then post on X, you can just post on Arena and it will automatically post on both platforms. So it's actually really cool.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
No, I'm
Yeah.
really digging Arena.
And like I said, they got apps being built out on here. They have a mobile app coming soon. So good to get in early.
The mobile app is gonna be a game changer because especially for posting content, being able to post actual photos off your phone, because the way it is right now, you kind of have to take a photo on your phone, you got to email it to yourself or send it to yourself so you can get it on your computer, and then you can post it. You can use the web browser on your phone. It's just not quite the same. So no, it'll be nice. I think it will onboard quite a few people. But well, shit. Let's. Are you done?
Some of this out. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let
Getting this off.
me throw this up here. So let's kind of get back to our roots. So what we used to do is we used to touch on RWAs. So we'd go to rwa.xyz. Any of you out there that are in crypto, if you're in DeFi, you should know about this. If you don't, I would highly suggest you bookmark this. This is rwa.xyz. It is all the data and analytics that you need, and it's free. It's almost everything that we share with you here is free. So it gives you all the data and analytics that you could possibly want on this use case for crypto, tokenization of real world assets, AKA RWAs. But you can see the growth. I mean, look at this. Since 2022 through 2023, it was pretty calm. And then 2024 hit, and we have just gone parabolic. So I know a lot of you know what RWAs are, but I'm going to explain really quick, and then I'll move on. So RWAs is the tokenization of illiquid assets. So things that used to be very cumbersome to change ownership. Say real estate, automobiles, U.S. treasuries, commodities, private credit, corporate bonds, public equity, just anything that holds value that is bought and sold and traded. It makes it a lot easier to do those things. And then it also automates a lot of processes. So like when you're buying stocks, you can do it instantly, like right now. If you don't know anything about DeFi, I'm not meaning to offend anybody, but if you don't know anything about DeFi, you can buy and sell stocks 24/7, 365 now. Where you used to have to go to a broker and you'd give him your money, tell him I want to buy this stock. He would call somebody, they'd put the order in, bing, bang, boom, a day or two later, maybe you own that stock. But with RWAs, you can buy Tesla stock, you can buy Microsoft stock right now with a couple of clicks, and you don't have to pay a bunch of people a bunch of money to do that. So it's a great use case for crypto, and it's why I'm so bullish on everything RWA and DeFi. Instead of just getting into gaming and AI and things like that, it's where I see the most building going on. And follow the money. It's where all the money's building. Banks and institutions and governments. We'll get into that here in a minute. But sorry, I get a little passionate about that.
Well, and one thing about stocks
that
a lot of people don't know is you technically don't own the stock. It's your broker that owns it. You just own that, like, whatever virtual certificate is, you don't actually own it like you used to. So yeah.
No, exactly, Jeff. That's actually a very valid point. That's a big thing that people love about crypto as well, is that you can self-custody. So,
Mm-hmm.
you can store your liquidity, store your value yourself without a bank holding it, without any institution holding it. If you want to hold your own liquidity, your own value, instead of putting your money in the bank, you can buy USDC, USDT. They're pegged to the US dollar. It's a digital version of the dollar basically now by law. The US government signed the Stablecoin Act that in US, as long as it's compliant with their rules and it's backed 1-to-1 with the US dollar or a US dollar equivalent, so like a bond or something like that, it's legal tender. So you can sell your fiat into, or their digital money, the ones and zeros that you see on your cell phone when you log into your bank account, and you can buy USDT and USDC. And with that, you can store it. You can put it on it's called a cold storage wallet, basically a thumb drive, and you can jump on a plane, go anywhere in the world and be working remotely, and you can bank straight out of your crypto wallets. David, that does the DeFi University, he makes his entire living off of DeFi. He makes a very good living for himself, and he's just a digital nomad. If he thinks someplace looks cool, he moves there, and he just does DeFi and puts, has his, ETH and, all of his different crypto assets that he's earning on. And whenever he needs money, he just cashes some out. So I know you want to talk about neobanks a little bit. What do you got to say on that topic, Jeff?
I think seeing David, the little bit that I've learned, I signed up for EtherFi, but I haven't done anything with my account yet. But because I want to know more, I want to learn more about it, because I know David is totally off the banking system, and he uses, these neobanks for paying his bills, and, he's completely gone in all crypto, and you can actually use it like a real bank account. So it's definitely something I want to be more versed on, and getting out, because like David was saying, he got a call from his bank for having a wire transfer to Coinbase, and they were asking him what he was using the money for, and it's like, none of your business. It's my
It's not. It's none of their business. It's my money. Give it to me. It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
When you had experience pulling out money, you were
Yeah.
saying earlier today, buying certain things. And
when I got out of the military, I had a what was it? A 72 Dodge Dart? Yeah, like a 72 Dodge Dart. Super, super clean car. I bought it when I got back off my last deployment. And I actually bought it in Southern California and drove it up through Vegas, up into Utah, to bring it home. It was a really cool drive, but I'll have to show you a picture sometime. But no, I sold that when I got out of the military, because remember I said I sold everything and moved up here. So I sold that, but I went down to Southern California for a couple months, and down there is just a ton of really clean classic cars. So I would just go on, Facebook and stuff, find these cool old like muscle cars and stuff, and I would just go buy them and drive them, and I'd take them back to the house, and I'd buff them out and clean them up and tune them up, because I know how to turn wrenches and stuff, and then I'd turn around and resell them for a profit. And I mean, some of them I made 10 grand a car.
Ooh.
And it's super cool, because you get a cool car to drive for a while until you sell it. So it's like always having a cool new, old muscle car. I'm actually thinking about starting to do it again, because it's a ton of fun. I just need to get a garage.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it beats the hell out of leasing a car or having a car payment. I mean, if you can drive it and you know what you're doing. I mean, that's what I like to do, as much work on my own.
Oh shit!
My own.
Sorry,
work
I got us on a rabbit trail, dude. But yes, I went into a bank. Sorry, that was on me.
No, you're good.
I went into a bank, and I wanted to get 10 grand out, because I wanted to go buy a car. And the lady behind the counter is like, "Okay, why do you need it?" And I'm like, I started laughing. I thought she was joking. I was like, "Oh yeah." She just like deadpanned me. I was like, "You actually want to know?" I like, none of your business. I was like, "It's my money. Give it to me." She's like, "Oh wait, well we have to ask because just it's a red flag, and we have to inform the government and stuff like that." It's like, then inform them I took out 10 grand if you have to, but it's my business. It's none of your business. And so yeah, she gave it to me, but that was Southern California.
Shit. Yeah. Was
So
somebody
that
holding you
gave
for
me
ransom, or
what's that?
it's like, is somebody holding you for ransom? Do you need it for
Yeah, I
fraud?
mean,
Or
yeah, blink a couple times if you're in distress. Okay, cool. It's like, but it's none of your business. But that's what kind of got my. I think like it's things like that. The government doing things like that that really got me excited about crypto initially.
Mm,
Was as soon as I that light bulb went off because I didn't know about crypto. I mean, I'd heard about Bitcoin like most people, but I didn't understand what crypto was and the power of it until I actually got into it and just, kind of a light bulb went off one day and I was like, oh, okay. This is like a whole different financial system where we can opt out almost. I mean, you obviously still have to, play a little bit, but you can be in control of your money. You don't have to put it in a bank to pay your bills. You can just hold your money, you can invest your money, do what you want with your money, and not worry that, if something happens, like in Greece, where there's a run on banks and the government just says, lock all the doors, shut off all the ATMs, you know, we're going to stop the bleeding. We can't
mhm.
have everybody taking their money out of the banks and, converting it into other currencies. It's going to destroy the country. They're trying to do the right thing, but that's not for them to decide. So, that's I think what got me excited. What got you excited about crypto? When did that light bulb go off for you?
Um, well, I got in it initially to buy psychedelics on the dark web.
Jeff's like, I was just getting some Molly, maybe a little bit of mushrooms, getting ready for the weekend.
Yep. And I didn't really understand like the whole concept and stuff, and then over the years I was like, oh shit, this is really like, even especially during COVID is when it really hit home that, oh, these people are being debanked and censored. And like, if you what was it in Canada, the trucker thing where people would donate to the truckers in Canada and they
Oh,
got
yeah,
their
yeah.
accounts frozen. I was like, oh, hell no. So, and that's why the Trumps basically went all into cryptos, because they got debanked and they just went into crypto. And it's like, okay, now I really understand, the full scope and depth of this. Um, but yeah, since 2020, I haven't looked back. Just looking at ways of really breaking out of the system more and more, and now learning more about the neobanks and stuff, and hearing David's experience and how he's been able to break out of that system. I'm like, okay, this is possible. He's making a living, paying his bills. So what do I need to do to take that next step?
What's this? Hapu says, my crypto story starts with being placed under conservatorship. Needed a way to hold my own money. Oh, okay. I'm guessing that must be uh conservatorship. I think isn't that kind of like when you're like in a halfway house or something?
Um,
Like like a ward of the
not
state or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be in a halfway house, but not mentally fit, because Britney Spears was under conservatorship with her dad and
That's
somebody
what it
else.
is. I think it's when
If
you
you're
have, and Hapu could probably let us know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what it sounds like she went through in her past, that might be the case, but
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Well, let's
uh, that'd
let's
be
dive
interesting
into
to hear
this.
how you got out of that. Oh, legal guardian. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, legal guardian. Yeah, you were right. You know, kind of like Britney Spears. So Hapu's Britney Spears.
Finland.
So we can save this one. I don't. I kind of want to talk about some other projects. I've been talking about Canton a lot, and for obvious reasons. But I kind of want to touch on some projects that we haven't talked about in a while. Do you have that aerodrome info pulled up that you were wanting to share?
Yeah, I do.
All right, here you go. Take it away, bro.
So the flight school, I saw this earlier today. I guess they announced on the 23rd, the future of flight school is transitioning to the Momentum Fund after 2 years of operation. But before I dive into that, this ends tomorrow. So Arrow voters, 6% of the lemon allocation, I guess the lemon token, I don't know what that is, but 6% of the supply goes to Arrow voters. So you can vote here at kickoff.fun. And yeah, I guess.
Oh, is that one? Is that their next ignition project where if you vote on it, you get like an airdrop?
Yeah. And Aerodrome they reposted this on
Okay.
their
So those
page.
of you that don't know, Aerodrome is a DeFi platform on Base Network. It's affiliated with Coinbase. It's what Coinbase is going to be using, it looks like, to basically offer DeFi to the masses. So they're going to make it super streamlined, super easy. It's, you know, 1 or 2 clicks. You don't have to do a bunch of swapping and bridging, and you know, you don't have to do all that. It'll do it all automatically. So, you know, basically learning DeFi right now, you're getting in super early. You know, this is, you know, kind of the, you know, kind of the early adopter opportunity Jeff was talking about earlier. But Aerodrome, they have a program. So you can lock Aerodrome. And if you lock Aerodrome, you earn yield each week at the end of each epoch. That ends on Wednesday, you know, Wednesday evening here on the West Coast of the US. So there is a program called the Ignition. That's called Ignition. I believe that's what it is. And they have new tokens that launch on Aerodrome and on Base Network. And the way they introduce them is they make it, you know, a part of this Ignition program. And if you vote on it, because they need liquidity for people to be able to swap to swap for that token, you know, you got to have liquidity or you can't swap, you can't do DeFi. So as a way to seed that liquidity in DeFi, they do this program. And so everybody, you know, votes on it. So they're basically voting with their liquidity. You know, they're borrowing that liquidity pool, their liquidity, so that people can swap with that. And for that, they award you some of the token. They give you an airdrop, a free airdrop. It might be worth 50 cents. It might be worth $500. You don't know. But it's a really cool DeFi opportunity. But keep going, Jeff. I just wanted to, that was a good opportunity to share that.
Yeah. And I saw this earlier. I was like, oh shit, there's only, well, it ends tomorrow. So I figure it's good to let you guys know if you're Arrow voters. And Aerodrome reposted this. So it's always good to, because this kickoff only has like 7,000 followers. And you with such low, you know, activity, you don't know if they're legit. But
you know,
if Aerodrome,
you know what it is that kickoff is doing? Like, what is it?
This is helping builders get funded and grow fast.
Okay, so like kind of like a seed fund, like they help raise funds for new projects.
Yeah,
like Kickstarter, kind of like Kickstarter.
That's what it seems like. So yeah, they have
interesting. No, that's
different projects
that might be cool.
Yeah,
hey, Ellie, what we were talking about earlier, that might be an opportunity for you using DeFi to fund your entrepreneurial endeavors. Because, you know, she was talking about wanting to, you know, kind of grow and scale and, you know, kind of, you know, start dialing some stuff in. And, you know, if you can get, you know, a little bit of, you know, some investors, you know, and it's all locked into smart contracts to where, you know, there's a way that, you know, that by borrowing that money to you, that they get some sort of dividend or some sort of, you know, the token goes up, you know, something like that. I don't know, but something you might want to check out, Ellie.
Yeah. Crypto Bros would be happy to help fund that.
Yeah, we have a Discord full of them.
We do. Oh, great community, man. Great community. Oh yeah, we have a free
Awesome.
Discord as well. All the links are in the description. So jump in there. A
And
lot of
you, you,
great.
should, you should shout out everybody in the chat real quick, just to kind of thank everybody for being here tonight.
Yeah, Nick Dunn. We got Blake ASB, Sleepy Hollow, Big Lou. Oh, that personal one is my like personal account. I accidentally was logged into that one when I signed up. I was like, who's that personal 696
yeah,
whatever?
Yeah, then we got the arena. We got
Bit DJ, Ellie, Hapu, Albert, Yesha. We got some new followers.
Yeah, no, there's freaking arena's going off tonight. We got more viewers on the arena than we do on X and YouTube.
Yeah. And Ellie, that's a good point. I was noticing that too with the arena. It doesn't lag. There's like very little lag time between the stream compared to YouTube.
There's like 15 seconds on YouTube. Like a 15-second lag.
Yeah, it's very short on the arena.
So if you're not signed up on the arena, go sign up on the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Link, you can hear us in the description. like join with our link. It helps us out.
Yes.
I lied. I'm gonna shill a little bit. Use our link.
We don't get any commission off of it.
Keep going, Aerodrome. Sorry, I keep getting us on rabbit trails.
So yeah, I haven't gone through this completely yet, and we did a full deep dive on the Aerodrome Velodrome merger that's happening and the whole launch of the new product in Q2 a few months ago.
I mean, supposedly it's like April, May is when the new Aerodrome platform is launching.
Okay. Yeah, we did like almost a 2-hour thing a few months ago on our YouTube channel. So look for that. But so the flight school, the bonuses flight school will end on April 8th this year. So let's see. Oh yeah, the flight school, basically if you lock up 2,500 Aero tokens or more for a certain amount of time, they'll match you with 2,500. Or no, actually it went down, right? It was a certain percentage.
So if you lock 2,500, then it's been only about 13%. The flight school has only been about 13% ish. So when I first did it, it was like 50%. Like after I got the like the 1.5 multiplier or something like that, I ended up getting almost 50%. So I locked 5,100 tokens, and I got like 2,600 in a free airdrop of Aero, and it was freaking awesome. I should have just full ported, at everything that I had at the time, all my Aero, because it's what I ended up doing. I have a ton of Aero locked, earning yield, just because I personally see the writing on the wall. If this is new platform launches and does everything as advertised, and and Aerodrome is working with Coinbase, and it's like a streamlined process for basically normies that know nothing about crypto, where they can go on like Robinhood and be like, oh, I got this Bitcoin sitting here, or I got this Aerodrome sitting here, and if I click this button, I'm instantly earning 30%, while it sits here. It's like, okay, that sounds cool. And they just click on it. Imagine that. Just you log onto an app and you're just like, oh, okay, I earned $500 worth of Aerodrome this month. Well, let me put that in that deposit, where I can earn 15%. Or, oh no, look, there's a place over here I can do it for 30 and earn 35%. Or, oh look, I can lend it out and then borrow against that, and then lend that out and then borrow against that. And just hit one button and it will just automatically do looping for you. I mean, I'm so excited for the future of DeFi.
Dude, It's gonna be great. And if Base would ever launch a token, that would be great. Well, and the MEV protection, the MEV bots, which
Yep.
that's a whole thing in itself. But
Yeah,
the
the MEV
revenue
options.
generating models, they just have so many awesome features coming.
Well, those
Um,
well, those auctions are gonna make it to where, token launches, won't be as
yeah,
volatile in price. So, basically, I'll make this super short. The summary is, the price discovery happens before the token launches, so that after it launches, it's already kind of found where it's gonna dwell. Whereas currently, when it launches, you got VCs that have tokens, you got, the team that has tokens, and a lot of times it will spike when it first comes out, and right as you're getting in, it will freaking take a plunge, and it's just it does it almost every time, but it will fix that. So keep going.
Oh, and real quick, shout out to Hapu on the arena chat. She said, I have a one AVAX giveaway on X going on right now. All you need to do is a meme of the arena CEO, Jason. So if you're not on the arena chat on our live stream right now, go jump in, follow Hapu, and
And
get in
and
on
you
that
can
contest.
well, and you can find her Twitter because her handle on Arena is her handle on X. That's the way
Yeah.
it is for everybody. So,
Yeah. See, get
all
in
right.
and be part of the fun.
What else going on
All
with
right.
Arrow?
So the final flight school, April 8th, deadline for eligible V Arrow locks to receive the flight school bonus ends that day. And then they'll be moving, um, merges with the public goods fund to form the momentum fund.
Mhm.
So the momentum fund unifies these strategies into a single mandate driven capital engine by consolidating flight school and the public goods fund. The fund gains the scale necessary to act as a permanent support engine for the Aero economy. So, as of the migration, Momentum Fund will control approximately 25% of total VE Aero voting power and a powerful initial capital base comprised of 165 million VE Aero from the Public Goods Fund, 75 million from the Flight School, 2 million from the Velodrome Foundation, which Velodrome is like Aerodrome, but it's on a bunch of other networks as well. And
So,
Velodrome was
yeah,
actually
Velodrome is
built
multi-chain.
out.
And
Yeah, and it
that's
was originally it was the first one, and then the team behind it built out Aerodrome. And
so the team that built Velodrome is the same team that built Aerodrome, and just for whatever
Mhm.
reason, Aerodrome took off, even though it's only on base,
Yeah.
and Velodrome didn't, and it's multi-chain. I didn't make the rules. It's just what happened. But so basically, what they're doing is they're merging the two, and yeah, and so basically, Aerodrome's going to be multi-chain and all this stuff that Jeff's talking about. So, in case you didn't know, keep going.
About time they merge, man. Um,
You got to
so
you got to be like Terry Crews on that Blended movie where it has like the couples that they have kids from previous marriages and they take them to that resort and they have to become blended families. And it's hilarious. Terry Crews is in it. The black guy
yeah, I
did the
love
Old
Terry
Spice
Crews.
commercials
Yep.
and chest bounce and stuff. He's
Yeah.
but anyway, keep going.
Oh, he's great. So, under the new mandate, any buybacks will follow a rules based, market aware approach,
Mhm.
deploying more capital when Arrow trades at a discount relative to its historic range. This ensures revenue reserves are used opportunistically and efficiently.
Okay,
Because, yeah,
so
Arrow would do buybacks.
yes, so the way Aerodrome works is that all of the fees, 100% of the fees that are generated from people doing swaps and doing all the stuff on the site, all the revenue or the profits that it makes, there isn't like a corporation that's like funding their operations with that. 100% of that goes back onto the platform and pays people like me and those in our community that are providing liquidity by locking and putting liquidity in the liquidity pools. But locking specifically, that's the yield that we're earning, is the fees
I think he froze again. Mike.
It's
Oh,
been
there
a
you are.
it's been a while since I've had one of those, man.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure where
From
I
the
cut
fees,
out. What's
from the
that?
fees. We
Yeah.
earn revenue from fees.
So basically, with Aerodrome, whatever's left after they pay the fees to the people with locks, they do a buyback, and that's what this is talking about. And so they take that money, and it like sometimes it's a couple $1,000,000 a week, and they will buy back Aero tokens. So basically, take them off the market, and they max lock them. So it's a smart contract, and it locks away those Aero tokens for 4 years, and then they keep max locking it. So basically, it's taking tokens out of circulation because a lot of people look at Aero and they see an infinite supply, and they get spooked by it. But you need to understand the tokenomics. But that's what this is talking about. Keep going.
Mhm.
I'm loving this.
Yeah. So following the launch of Arrow in Q2 this year, the fund may also strategically acquire VE NFTs, VE Arrow, which
Yeah.
yeah. So you can those locks will give you an NFT.
Yep.
And there's certain markets where you can, or marketplaces where you can sell those if you need to get out, but it's at a cost.
So usually it aligns with the flight school because last time I looked, it was about a 13% hit. Like if say you have $5,000 in a lock and you need the money now, you're JG Wentworth, you need cash now. And so you can go to these markets, and the new Aerodrome platform, and this is what it's talking about, is going to have an auction, a market, and you can put your $5,000 Aero lock, and you're going to take like a 15% hit, like a fee, and it might
Mhm.
end up being a little bit more, for the platform or something like that. But basically, you can liquidate and have access to that money for a fee, or you can keep holding on to it and each week earn yield on it. It's just whatever you want to do, or you can wait for it to unlock. But keep
Yeah, and
going.
that's great to have that marketplace built into your platform than having other people, if you have to go to some third party site that
Hmm.
you can trade and you're like, I don't know if I should connect my wallet here. Like, no. So it's great they have that feature built in. A value accretive engine for the Aero economy. So Momentum Fund is designed to function as a sophisticated capital allocator, ensuring that the fund's resources are deployed with maximum efficiency to benefit all Aero holders. Market-aware programmatic buybacks. So the fund's mandate allows it to utilize a rules-based framework to execute buybacks during periods of market fluctuations. Strategic growth. The fund will direct its power towards the most productive and high potential liquidity pools, maximizing the product's long-term growth potential and creating a more attractive environment for liquidity providers. And that's important because you could have pools that fluctuate in APY drastically, just daily. And some that might be getting more swaps than others. So if you're able to utilize different liquidity pools and capture more value from those, it would help incentivize more of the people using the protocol.
Well, and it gives
Um,
deeper liquidity is a
yeah.
huge part of it because if you're going to provide your liquidity, and me and David went over this in DeFi High. There's something called slippage, and so if there's not enough liquidity in a pool, and say there's $1,000,000, but $500,000 of it is yours. You deposit that. If you go to take that out and that liquidity isn't available, you might not get your whole $500,000. So you need to pay attention to the TVL, or total value locked, in the pool that you're providing liquidity for. So the health of the pool is very, very important, and that's what this is addressing. Is
Mhm.
ensuring that liquidity stays deep enough to where people don't experience things like slippage. But keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're entering liquidity pools, there's a little gear icon usually, or something in the settings where you can change the slippage, and it'll usually be like a 0.5% or so, or sometimes even 1%. And you can go and drop that down to like 0.1 or 0.2.
So
I know it.
so basically what that does, I just want to simplify this really quick,
Yeah.
is it's a safety. It's almost like a stop loss. It won't let, like, if you start clicking through, it's not going to allow the transaction to go through if it's over that threshold. You know, you're saying, I don't want this transaction to happen if it's over this amount of slippage or loss. And you know what Jeff's talking about is, you know, you can put it like a quarter of 1%. You know, or you can, you know, you can set it as high as you want, because in high volatility, you might have to raise that to get it to go through because of all the money that's moving, all the, you know, liquidity that's moving. You know, you might have to bump that up, and depending on how urgent, you know, you want to make that adjustment to your DeFi portfolio. But again, there's been people, there's a specific guy that moved $1 million worth of like ETH or Bitcoin. David
Yeah.
was telling me about it. And
Oh,
he clicked through, wasn't paying attention, and due to slippage, he ended up doing the swap, and he got $1.
yeah.
He had $1 million,
Yeah.
and at the end of the transaction, he had $1. So pay attention to what you're clicking on when you're going through. And it's not that he got ripped off or anything. It was
No.
just due to slippage, low, you know, low liquidity.
Yeah, that's the worst kind of slippage, man.
Yeah, there's good slippage and there's bad slippage. That's bad. That's sandpaper like style slippage.
That's
Yeah, that's not.
sandpaper prison
That's,
slippage.
yeah. That's like, yeah, sandpaper prison. You know, slippage there.
But okay, so total value retention. So the fund operates on a principle of 100% value retention. All rewards generated by the fund's positions are redirected back into the ecosystem, ensuring that growth is compounded for the benefit of the entire community. Systemic supply reduction. The fund, by giving the fund the capability to remove arrow from circulating supply, the fund's mandate allows it to act as a deflationary force. And they do burning, right? Recurring burns of arrow, or they do that by locking it up.
Yeah, they don't burn it,
Yeah,
but they max lock it.
yeah. So the fund
I
plans to
don't think
follow
there is
these.
a burn mechanism on Arrow.
That's right. Yeah, because I remember you talking about how they put it into a max lock and it
Mhm.
takes it out of circulation completely.
Now Canton,
Um,
on the other hand, but keep going.
yeah, Canton burns millions of dollars a day right now, and
Yeah,
so the fund allows or follows three general postures depending on the market environment and protocol performance. So supply reduction. I was saying they enter a supply reduction posture, which additional arrow or VE arrows acquired by default. And they say burned right here, but I guess I don't know. Maybe the new protocol they might have a burn, but I thought that they just max locked it.
they are coming out with a new Arrow token. They might, instead of max locking, they might have a burn. This might be you know, something
Hmm,
new. I haven't heard this, so this is kind of tipping their hand a little bit. So yeah, maybe the new token, because they're combining not just the platforms, but Velo and VE Velo, you know, lockers and arrow holders and VE arrow lock. It's all going to become this new token. So I'm
mhm.
waiting to hear how that's all going to transfer over. If it's going to be automatic, or are we going to have to do something to, you know, like turn in our VE arrow locks out of our wallet, you know, the NFTs, and then it swaps it into, you know, one of equal value. I don't know yet. So I'm waiting to hear that. But that would be
Yeah.
cool if there's a burn mechanism, because that would, you know, permanently remove tokens. There could even be a max amount of tokens on the new token.
Mhm. Well, and some anytime projects have updated like a token or interface, they have like a migration system where you hit this button and it migrates everything over for you.
That would be,
Um, yeah, and it'll burn the old token or
yeah,
it'll transfer the new and then burn the old. So yeah. Um,
no double dipping.
VE arrow, yeah,
No,
no double dipping, man.
now, you know, I'm not judging, but no
No.
double dipping. I'm just saying, we don't want that. We don't want that round here. Not in these
No,
parts.
not in the crypto. So VE Arrow lock bonus. Fund may deploy targeted VE Arrow bonus locking programs to encourage community participation. Drawing on mechanisms previously validated through flight school. So they might offer some more bonus stuff through that. VE Arrow voting power growth. So the fund may increase its VE Arrow voting power to maintain or boost its ability to support protocol growth and economic health. Target levels are evaluated over time and may adjust as conditions evolve. And of course, they continuously monitor outcomes and market conditions and all that fun stuff. So proven in practice.
All that fun stuff.
All that fun stuff. Market aware buybacks. So this looks like Arrow acquired emissions.
It looks like
different
each
epochs.
epoch. Yeah, that's each of the epochs. So that each one of those bars, it's there is a week.
That's how long an epoch. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
epoch
every
111,
Wednesday.
112, 113, 114, 115, and then you have the it looks like the dollar amount.
Emissions.
Each week.
Dollar amount. That's how much emissions there are.
Okay, so yeah, that's what they're paying out in emissions. And so emissions are the arrow that if you're providing to a liquidity pool, if you stake it, or let's start with unstaked. So if you on Aerodrome currently, if you provide liquidity into a liquidity pool, then you will earn, and you keep it unstaked, you will earn the 2 tokens that consist of that pool. So if it's like an ETH Aerodrome pool, you're going to earn a little bit of ETH, a little bit of Aerodrome. Now you're going to lose 10% as a fee to the people that lock Arrow, the VE Arrow holders. It's just part of the economy to incentivize people to provide liquidity. Now, if you stake it, then and you earn emissions, not fees. So the first one's fees. The second one is they call emissions. So then the emissions are Arrow tokens. You're paid out in Arrow tokens, but you earn 100%. So it again, they're incentivizing you to take Arrow tokens by giving you that extra 10%. So it's just kind of how the economy works. And, it's a way that they incentivize people to, buy and hold and, lock the token and things. So keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great breaking it down. So that way people know what these, because you just look at it like, oh, I don't know. I don't have a clue what this means.
Well, that's why I'm loving this. It's like, really just, anybody could go to X and, find this post and do this, but understanding what it's saying is a whole nother, ball game. So it's kind of cool that we can go through this post and explain it for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So Foundation's programmatic buyback model is battle tested beginning October 25. The public goods fund operated under programmatic momentum fund rules, deploying capital counter-cyclically over 13 epochs or 13 weeks. It acquired.
I think they're just making up words, dude.
Yeah, I know, right?
Counter-cyclically? I've never heard that word in my life. I was like, I've never heard that in my life, dude.
No, it was funny when you and David had the DeFi high this morning. You were like, David, what? Too many syllables. What
yeah,
does that word mean?
It's like La Samaraisa. La Samaraisa.
So this represented 15 to 25% of the total emissions distributed each week, providing a deflationary counter to inflation through emissions during a time of market and protocol revenue volatility. So with consolidated voting power and reserves, the Momentum Fund will meaningfully amplify this impact. Why it matters now. So as Aerodrome approaches the launch of Arrow, the new platform in Q2 this year, the protocol is moving from a growth phase into a position of dominance. Yeah, because after growth, you need to dominate.
Well, that's, a little bit of DS is, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's just, it's part of nature.
Oh, yep. So the momentum fund is the engine that will allow Arrow to scale efficiently. Man, we're a bunch of DJs.
If you
Um,
know, you know. We're like a Disney movie. We have these little, like, hints, something that where the
yep.
parents can chuckle at it. Keep going.
Oh, so yeah, they're grateful to every participant who helped make flight school a success. Mike, you're a big part of that.
I
um,
would think, I mean, maybe not, the amount of dollars, because there's some freaking whales in there, but I was
and our
definitely
community,
early.
man.
Thanks to Drew. Drew told me about Aerodrome, like, forever ago. Like, it was right after the launch. And,
Oh yeah.
it is when we first started the channel, and, like, me, you, Ellie, Jay, Josh, there's a bunch of people from the community, and, like, they were with us from the beginning. And, yeah, well, like, we were figuring out arrow locks. I still remember, freaking, where, Ellie, it was right where you could plus up your locks. Like, I didn't even know, like, it was that new. And
Oh
she
yeah.
had locked, but she didn't lock, like, more than 2,500, so she, wasn't gonna get the flight school bonus. But, it was like she was right on the cusp of it. So, it they ended up adding that feature to where you could plus up your lock as long as it within the same epoch. So,
That's right. Yeah. Because she was like, "Oh, I remember that." Yep. Oh,
oh,
and
not
even
not
some
Joshua
that couldn't.
Jake Jay. This is, Josh, Dreadlock Josh, the one that was in Hawaii, that, camping out on my property. That's, he was on the riverboats for a while, and
Yeah.
he pops in and checks in from time to time. You said you talked to him earlier today.
Yeah, he's back in Hawaii for a little bit, um, doing some work. He was in Ohio, but I think he went back earlier this month, and he said he just missed the storm. So, but he sent me a video of this volcano that went off yesterday or over the
Oh, in
weekend.
Hawaii, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, and there were some issues with people having their flight school bonus that they couldn't find, and it was like
Yeah,
in the
and,
wallet. They were
yeah, and
having
we
a
we
wallet
we help
issue.
people through that too. And, yeah, they got it dialed in. But it's just that's early adoption. It's like, they ended up getting their flight school. Last night, everybody that I talked to anyway. But it was just, for whatever reason, wasn't showing up in their wallet. It had to do with some kind of update or something like that. It was there. It just wasn't visible in their wallet.
Mhm. Jay said, "Speaking of dreadlocks, what happened with Miles?"
Oh, I mean, we actually, we should start bringing him back up. Kind of get back to our roots, man. I really enjoy these shows where we just kind of,
Mm,
just chill and just talk about crypto and chill.
yep. Yeah, and breaking down words like
Yeah,
countercyclical.
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Yeah. Let's
Oh,
see.
man.
Let me see if I got anything before we cut this off. I mean, we can save it till next time. I got this on Canton. It's kind of like this Arrow, post that you found, going through a bunch of cool stuff with, Temple Finance that, just launched with them. But we'll save that. We'll save that for next time. You know what? Here,
Yeah.
I'll save
Hmm.
that. I'll share this real quick. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So I found this. So all-time volume surges past $350 billion. So basically, during the lifetime of Aerodrome, I guess, $350 billion of volume. It took 80 weeks for Aerodrome to reach 175 billion in volume. It only took half the time to double it, and we're not stopping there. Arrow is coming, and so it's showing, these are the epochs. Like we were talking about before. Across the bottom, and then you have the dollar value. So you can see. I mean, almost nothing was going on for like the first 30 epochs, 40 epochs. So that's 40 weeks. And then all of a sudden, just fucking aerodrome just said fucking lift off and just pulled up on the yoke. But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. What else we got here? Fake volume. Yeah, right. Um, yeah, always gotta love the comments.
They're trying to FUD hard, man.
Oh yeah. Found this one about DAG. We haven't talked about DAG for a minute. Yeah, we'll go over this real quick. After
Yeah.
a short conversation in the DAG Telegram, the situation is as follows. Constellation as a company was acquired. The acquisition amount was not disclosed. This does not mean the team is leaving. Quite the opposite. The previous Constellation owners exchanged ownership of the company for shares in the holding entity, which is now going public via an IPO, an initial public offering. So that's a stock. ICO, initial coin offering, IPO, initial public offering. One's a stock, one's a token. Constellation will continue operating as a subsidiary and has received $25 million in funding. The existing Constellation team retains full operational control, including all rights and responsibilities. They also gain full access to the holding company's partner network. In short, this is a win-win. Nothing changes at a high level for Constellation or DAG, the token. If anything, this move significantly accelerates adoption. It also removes the need for immediate DAG selling to fund development and operations. So this is something, and I'm going to use it. I always do. XRP. This is something that, and most crypto projects had to do to fund operations, to pay themselves to build and develop and, do these things. Because if they don't have investors, if they don't have people actively, using it, then, the team has to sell. If it's not generating revenue, the team has to sell the tokens so that they can, keep working. So they don't have to do this anymore. So that's less, sell pressure on the market. Additionally, the network itself is essential. There is zero reason to abandon the token or the network. There is no change to its upside potential. If anything, that potential just became significantly larger. So this is this AI Squared Holdings and Constellation. So it looks like they got acquired by AI Squared. And DAG has for years has had a contract with the U.S. Military Defense Department. With, I believe it's Space Force, and it still feels weird to say that, and the U.S. Air Force for Project Iron Spider. So it's basically a DAG architecture chain, or not chain. It's a DAG that is encryption for the those two military organizations. So super interesting. I've been waiting to see, kind of where they go with it. It hasn't been a whole lot of action, but I still hold a decent sized bag of DAG, and I'm still bullish on it.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as long as these projects are building and still staying the course, I know there's a lot of noise with projects and a lot of shit that just doesn't really, like, I did a video on some new blockchain that is coming out. It's a layer 1, and I'm like, okay, I'll do some content on it, but what is it really going to turn out to be? Just another flash in the pan?
Yeah.
It's like at some point we need less of these projects and focus more on the stuff that we have. I mean, Canton's been building for a decade now. So that's something that just recently been coming to light more and more. And people are like, what's Canton?
Yeah.
Why are they doing this? But I mean, if you've been building and you're, you have good use case and utility and the privacy, and, it was a really good interview with Shaw, and he was saying they're not just, focused on they're focused on retail as well, not just institutions.
Well, that's
So
what Shaw, the co-founder that we interviewed, great interview with Drew.
Yeah.
over at Blockchain Basement. But yeah, I mean, he because I was talking about the institutional stuff, and I made the comment that that they were more focused on institutions than they were on retail, and he actually corrected me. So
Mhm.
I actually appreciated that, because that's kind of the alpha that I wanted. If I'm wrong about something, point it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that he was just very open um and even stuff he was like, I can't really talk about this, but he would kind of
Yeah,
give little hints and just being real transparent and um he even, I guess, what reached out to you afterwards and said he really enjoyed the interview. So it's
yeah.
great to hear.
No, it's if once some time goes on, I think I'll reach out to him again. He said that he'd be willing to come back on, so yeah, I'd love to have him back on after we kind of see some just some new stuff going on, just some
Mhm.
updates. Don't want to bug the guy too much to where we're just talking about the same stuff all the time. Want to and again, there's a bunch of stuff that Temple Finance just launched a node, and and building a bunch of stuff on Canton. But like again, we'll save that till next time. We're we're
Well,
we're
Canton just released a whole set of validators that they added, right? Like some pretty
yeah.
big names, I think,
Actually, you know what?
today.
I marked that. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah, there's some interesting.
So welcome new validators. So you got
Yep.
this. I mean, do we got a little bit of time? I mean, we could look
Yeah.
at a couple of these. This
Yeah.
isn't the article, but I mean, you got Gemini 2, you got L Bank, Sats Terminal, Humine, Imperium, Global Settlement, Nuity, Road Labs, a bunch of Coinbase. But yeah, it's you know what? Let's just save this for next time. We're over time, and I know you gotta eat dinner and feed the cats and all that. Let's save this for Friday
Yeah.
and the other
Yeah.
one. But basically, what Jeff's talking about is these are a bunch of new validators. So these are all new institutions that are joining the network. They're going to be running nodes. So this is just shows. And if you look at the price on freaking Canton, while everything else bleeds, it just seems like it's always green. It's like it's like this little pea in the middle of like tomato soup. This little green pea in the middle of tomato soup. But and Kita, like Kita's up 12% today. Kita actually bought a bank. The Kita project.
Oh shit.
So we did a deep dive on it forever ago. Before that, but we live streamed the stress test. They
Bought a
were
bank.
boasting over 1 million transactions per second, or 10 million transactions per second. And and they did a live stress test, and supposedly it was third party and it all checked out, and that was months and months ago. But yeah, they just bought a bank, and so they're geared towards that institutional and retail, but a lot of institutional use cases for finance, to
Dang.
modernize traditional finance. So
Yeah, they had a nice pump today. Shit. Okay. Let's see where they at.
say
Yeah.
hello, Cass. Hello,
Meow.
Jeff. Hello, Jeff.
We got
She's
the
like,
DeFi kitties.
yeah, she's like, leave me the hell alone. Stop messing with me. But now Jeff knows she's like super mellow.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your cats at?
Oh, they're out. I got the door closed to my
Oh,
office.
so they're out causing havoc. They're
Oh
out there
man.
smoking a bong and taking
Yeah.
E, and they're like raving and shit.
Dude, it sounds like it. In the middle of the night, I'll hear them just fucking like zooming across the
Oh,
apartment.
dude,
I'm
yeah,
like,
the
oh
zoomies.
shit.
Yeah, the zoomies.
almost every time after they use the litter box, they'll go zooming around. And I was thinking, if people actually did that after they used the bathroom, at the office, you see people just running around like, oh shit.
Oh man. Oh, looks
Oh,
like looks like Hoofty. Looks like Hoofty's rolling a spliff right now. Actually, Hoofty,
oofty.
I've actually known, not known, but me and Hoofty used to chat all the time in Good Morning Crypto. It's like way back when I was like way into XRP. Um, there's a show. It's still going, and I don't know. All they ever do is talk about XRP, and I literally like every show. That's all. I don't know how they do it, and they have a massive following. But all they do is talk. Great guys, like super positive guys. Super positive attitudes. Great group of people. Nothing, not throwing shade, but it's just amazing that if that people can talk about one project. I don't care what it is, like all the time for like years. Like I watched him for like 3-4 years, and it was like every day it was just coming up with something to say about XRP. I was like, damn. But
Oh shit. Oh, that's cool that we got some people that coming into our community that you've chatted with before, and like what Colin was saying, one of his buddies reached out. He's like, "Oh, you're on the show with the DeFi guys." He's like, "Wait, how do you know these guys?" I was like, "Oh, that's man, it's just a small world. You just never know who you run into."
it really is. I mean, we really do need to get like some kind of, like, if crypto ever pays off for all of us, DeFi pays off enough, we should have like a crypto get together. Have everybody up here at the property or something like that, and we can get a keg and party it up, or something.
Oh yeah, do some exploring, some foraging and stuff in
Oh yeah, we
the.
go out kayaking. We can go catch some salmon or some trout and have a fish fry. Do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool to do like a retreat style thing for community members.
Yeah, just
'Cause
everybody bring a tent.
yeah, because the one of the radio before I moved from South Carolina, it was like 2010. The one of the local radio stations had put on a little cruise event for the listeners, for like their loyal listeners of
Yeah,
this rock station morning show. Um, and they had packages, and it was like a regular cruise with like, you know, tens of thousands of people, but they had worked with the cruise line to do a special package for their listeners. So they put on this event, and they had special things on the cruise for the people who were involved. So that'd be really cool.
yeah.
Get more intimate with the community members, and um yeah.
It sound like an
Yeah.
orgy. Be like a sausage party. Yeah,
Only
yeah.
they're
Hoopty,
Italian
it's me,
sausages.
veteran crypto. Yeah, no, it's
Oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He just realized it's me. Yeah, no,
Oh shit. Hell yeah.
we chatted for years, man.
Oh, that's great. Man. Yeah. Small world, man. Crypto, you just never know who you run into in these spaces, but let's see.
Oh, Hapu says, "I'll open a commune. I'm sure Colin will help to fund if she blinks her eyes." Well, well, Hapu, we've talked about it with our community, like, because we actually have
Mhm.
an emergency prep channel on our Discord, because all of us were always talking about it, and so like we've kind of started popping in there. I actually have a bunch of old videos on a old YouTube channel that people are more than welcome to look up. It's prep the number 2 survive, and I did a bunch of emergency preparedness videos on go bags, and making waterproofing your matches, making char cloth, all kinds of stuff. It's
Mm.
way back before I got out of the military, and it was like right at the end of my military career. So it's me from like 12 years ago. But yeah, no, we might start making some emergency preparedness content. But yeah, Hapu, we've talked about a bunch of us getting together and like on the same property, building some tiny houses or some cabins, and then just having like a community garden and having chickens and eggs and all that stuff, and just kind of hanging out, doing DeFi and crypto, and just enjoying life.
Yeah, that kit that you were talking about, that's like 20 or 25 grand. I was
Oh yeah,
telling
the
Josh
cabin.
about it when I was talking to him earlier, and he said that he was looking on Amazon, has like,
Yep.
these modular homes that are even 10 grand for like a 30 or 40 foot, 2 bedroom, 1 bath little homes, that I was like, oh shit, that's pretty legit. So you can get, you know, a little modular home that's enough space, 2 bedroom. Fuck. So
Jay says 10K crypto buy-in for the DeFi pool. Actually, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to do like if we did do something like that,
oh.
have some kind of fund or something, that like like an emergency fund, where like everybody puts in like a grand, and we just put it in
Mhm.
something like super safe that just earns like 10-20%, just in case like somebody has like an emergency, like a family emergency or something like that. It's just like a little kid, little, slush fund that, we can buy somebody a plane ticket, like if they're short of money or something, so they can go home for a funeral, or, if we want to buy something big for the property, like a tractor or something like that, then it gives us a fund to buy it out of, instead of, all of us coming out of pocket for it. It just basically be like a little account. Yeah, that's actually a pretty
Dude,
good idea, Jay.
that's really cool.
We can do
Man.
multi-sig too. We can have it to where like everybody has to sign off on it. Where they have to vote on it on chain.
Yeah.
Where it's like not no one person controls it. It's like basically, we can all get together with our phones and be eating dinner and be like, hey, all right, we have a vote coming up. We're gonna buy a tractor. Vote yay or nay, and you just go in there and vote.
That's great, that you brought that up, because I was just thinking like, okay, what could we do to help, make sure that people feel safe, that no one person will just, swipe all the funds, and yeah, make it multi-sig to where we can have that like
Yeah,
total transparency and flexibility. Like, okay, hey, we're gonna come together and
yeah.
vote on this, and
Oh, dude.
yeah,
And like the little studio that me and you were talking about while you're up here, that that I want to
yeah,
build to do the show and stuff. I mean, we could
hmm
even have like miners in there and nodes, like run nodes, because this spring.
crypto miners, not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
FC
yeah, yeah.
miners.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna have a slave camp.
No.
No, but this spring I'm getting fiber optic internet installed. And so, I mean, we'll be
Yeah.
able to run all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, yeah, we could even have stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you have an update on that, when they're actually, oh yeah, once the winter kind of subsides, right? Because I think they have to do more, they have to bring all the fiber to the houses, right? They got all the main roads, but I think it's getting it to your property is what they're working on next. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
Jay. Yeah, no, Jay just made the comment. He was saying that he thinks that I seem like that I would have a high level of integrity. It's yeah, I've been
Hmm.
offered hundreds of thousands of dollars if I was willing to compromise my integrity, and I won't do it.
Hmm.
Honestly, for me, it's like, kind of the North Star of what a man is. If your word means something, if you say you're going to do something and you do it, if somebody can shake your hand and know that if they make a deal with you and they shake your hand, that it means something. That's to me, that's what a man is. Back in the day, me and Jeff could, make a deal like, hey, I'm going to buy your car, if I can shake his hand. And that was better than a contract, fucking back in the days that you didn't need lawyers and freaking contracts and, all that stupid shit. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. I'd rather be able to sleep at night knowing that I did it out of integrity and good honesty than, compromising myself.
yeah,
Um, the money
yeah.
will come. You
Well,
do it the right way.
Ellie and Jay, Ellie says, okay, when are we moving? it whenever everybody gets to a point to where they're, if anybody's serious about it, I mean, shit, I'd love to have fucking, some help up here. It's like,
Hmm.
freaking there's some times where it's kind of sketchy, freaking, getting up on the roof and there's fucking nobody around for miles. It's like if I fucking slip and fall and like break my neck or something, I'm just gonna lay there till the coyotes find me.
Oh,
So it's like freaking, I tie off and things like that. But yeah, shit happens. Freaking, you can get hurt, and so anyway, yeah, it's and dude, and taking care of a garden, there's a lot
yeah.
of work, that goes into a successful garden. Just
Hmm.
watering it every day and weeding it and keeping the critters out of it, and because I mean I got bear and deer and all my John, my neighbor, his garden, he has apple trees and like a little orchard in his, and freaking like a bear comes like almost every
Although
fucking
ravage
fall and rips down his fence, just grabs his fence and rips it down and
it.
freaking goes in there and freaking eats all the apples.
Damn. Yeah, and it's important to keep that safe because that's your how you sustain.
Well, and that's kind of, I mean, most of the food that I buy is all locally sourced. The eggs that I get are local. The dairy, like the milk and cheese and stuff, is all local. Meat, venison, moose, elk, beef, pork, chicken, all of it, I can get locally. So I mean, if it was more than just me, I'd get a deep freeze and just have that thing full of freaking, locally sourced beef that it has nothing in it. You can go up and pick the cow. Like you can straight up go to the fucking ranch around here, go up and they have the ear tag and you're just like that one. They can pick his number and you come back like in a week and it's all cut up and wrapped and everything for you. So
Yeah.
it's a healthy way to live, man. It's I'm 51, and honestly, I mean, I can still run a 7 minute, 7.5 minute mile, for multiple miles. Not as fast as I used to be, but I mean, shit. A couple of years ago, I worked wildfire. I was not a volunteer. I mean, 24/7 all through fire season. I was hiking around with 18, 20-year olds through up the mountains, down the mountains, freaking daytime, nighttime, fighting fires and shit. My late
Shit.
40s. So there's something to be said for staying active and eating healthy and taking care of yourself.
Yeah, I saw a video of a 75-year-old man that pumped out 30 pull-ups. And it was
Dude,
like,
have you
damn.
seen freaking Kennedy, RFK with
Yeah.
his shirt off, dude? That
Yeah.
guy is yoked. He's in his
Yep.
70s, dude.
Yep.
He's in
He's
his freaking
jacked.
70s and he's knocking out pull-ups and he's like freaking big.
Yep. Yeah. You just got to stay active, man. Um, a little
All
bit
right.
every day. You don't have to hit the gym. You just, you know, do even functional movement, body weight stuff can be
Oh,
good. Do some
dude, I do
squats.
yoga. I have a kettlebell and I just do like, kettlebell presses and curls and
Yeah.
push-ups and yoga. You don't have to go to a gym. You can do a bunch of push-ups and there's all kinds of movement stuff that you can do. But
Hmm.
well, all right. I think I've yapped enough.
Yeah. Ellie likes pull ups, pulls up.
I bet you do.
You do.
All good girls do. All right. Well, we'll wrap it up. But Jay, Jay and Ellie, let me know what game you're playing. I've been wanting to game it up with the community, but we never picked a game when we were talking about it before. So let me know what you guys are playing. Oh, Arc Raiders. All right.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. Is that a console or PC?
I think it's on Steam. I think they said it's like $30 for the game.
Oh,
So
I mean, whatever. Cross
yeah.
platform. Okay.
Oh, on
Oh,
both.
maybe I'll
Okay.
check it out on my Xbox because I mean I prefer the mouse and keyboard, but the only computer I got is the one that I use to stream and do my crypto. And I don't feel good about downloading shit onto the
Yeah.
one that I do my crypto on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call.
I'm
Because
just
Steam has
paranoid.
had compromises like that with games in the
Yeah.
past that might not have been legit. So yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, Jeff, Ellie's saying you should come play too. She says there's
Yeah.
duckies you can find.
Oh shit.
There's rubber
I
ducks.
gotta
You can find rubber ducks. All right,
Oh,
I'll talk him
after
into it, Ellie. We'll get in there with you and Jay.
that. Yeah, and shout out to all the new followers on the arena. We got quite a few
Oh yeah,
people.
we got like almost 40 people watching over on the arena.
Yeah, so we appreciate all of you. Um yeah, man.
Yes, rated Russian. We do we have and we in past episodes you can find it in DeFi Academy. There's actually a full episode on wallets, hot wallets, cold wallets, all of it on our channel on YouTube. So find us there, and if you want to watch that, if you have questions, join our Discord. All the links are in the description of the show and the channel. And if you have DeFi questions, crypto questions, wallet questions, whatever, it's all free. Come on in. We're more than happy to help. But careful who you talk to. We keep a pretty clean Discord, but never give anybody access to your wallet. I don't care if you think it's me. I will never ask you for that. Jeff will never ask you for that.
Nope.
So just know if somebody ever asks you for access to your crypto, it's not us.
And if you see somebody that looks like our accounts that DMs you, we won't DM you first unless we've already built that rapport, like in the Discord and stuff. So message on the Discord channel and say, "Hey, is this you?" And we'll be able to verify and make sure that you don't get scammed. So,
and if you see an AI video of me dancing in a thong, it is not real. It is not real. Or is it?
Or is it?
And with that, till next time, Veteran Crypto out.
Peace.